Hi, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about how to build muscle for skinny guys. I once upon a time was extremely skinny. I had these mindsets that held me back a little. I used to say things like, oh, I could eat whatever I want and won't gain any weight. I have a fast metabolism. This is actually not true the way that people say it is. The difference in metabolic rate between people really isn't that much to where one person can eat literally anything and still be skinny. Really, your lifestyle plays a factor, but then also how much you're eating. A lot of people overestimate how much they're eating. That brings me to the first point in this video. You need to eat enough to actually gain muscle. So you can be in the gym following a program, but if you're eating in a calorie deficit every single day and you're not eating as much as you need to, you will gain very little to no muscle at all. The best way to do this is just download this app called MyFitnessPal and start tracking your meals. It is a little bit tedious, but I promise it's worth it. So that should be your number one priority, is making sure that you get enough calories every single day. And you might be wondering, what are the total amount of calories I need to eat for me? The best thing to do to figure this out is going to a total daily energy expenditure calculator. So you're going to put in your stats, your height, weight, age, activity level, and it will give you an estimate of how many calories you're burning in a day. So you want to take whatever number that calorie calculator gives you for your energy expenditure, and then you want to add 300 to it, and then that is how many calories you should be eating every single day, at least 300 to 500 above that base energy expenditure number. So once you know how much you need to eat, you need to actually eat that much. And you also need to make sure that you're eating enough protein. The rule is you want to have anywhere from zero point 0.8 to 1 gram of protein per pound of your body weight. So if you're 150 pounds, you want to be shooting for about 120 grams of protein a day. You will probably still see gains even if you don't eat enough protein, but it won't be as good as the version of you that actually does eat the protein and eats enough calories and trains it properly. So that's brings me to the next point, which is training. This is the number one thing. You can, read all the, books and watch all the YouTube videos and make sure you're eating enough and sleeping and recovering well. But if you don't actually train properly and intensely, you won't actually see any muscle gain. So you need to be focusing on progressive overload. And the concept of progressive overload is basically saying that, okay, each week I'm going to try to lift more weight than I did last week. So, if you can do bicep curls, 20 pounds for 10 reps, then the next week you're going to try to do 22.5 for 10 reps. And then once you can do 22.5, you advance to 25. And as you advance the weight, your muscle and strength naturally goes up as well. So progressive overload. Next thing you need to do is you need to follow a proper program. A good one for beginners is just push-pull legs. So on push days, you focus on your shoulders, chest, triceps. Pull days, you focus like bicep and back. And then your leg days, you focus on your legs. You need to be consistent. That's when it comes to your training. So at least 3 days a week. If you do one push day, one pull day, and one leg day, then there you go. That'll be your training for the week. And if you really want to be intense, this is what I did. I was doing like 5 to 6 days a week. So I would do push pull legs. I would take a rest day. And then on the 5th day, I would go back and do push again and then pull legs. So each muscle group would be getting hit twice every single week. And this allowed me to grow my physique up really quickly. So if you look at my starting picture versus where I ended up, like even 4 to 5 months later, there's a big difference, and it's because my body had to adapt quickly to the training and intensity that I was putting it under. So building muscle isn't just about your training intensity, it's about how well you recover as well. So you actually build the muscle when you're outside of the gym. You break down the muscle in the gym, and then it repairs and grows back stronger. So the time outside of the gym, you need to prioritize your sleep, your diet, right? We talked about that earlier. But your recovery overall in general. You don't want to overexert yourself in the gym. And when you're outside of the gym, you want to make sure that you're giving your body adequate time to recharge. So sleep is really important. You want to be shooting from like 7 to 9 hours of sleep every night. Also, resting between workouts, you want to take 1 to 2 minutes between sets when you're working out to make sure that your muscles can recover before you start the next set. Also, not training the same muscle group back-to-back days That's the whole point of the push-pull leg split. It breaks up your training so that each muscle group has adequate time to recover. When I was first started, I just like to train the muscle, like the lifts that I like to do. So I just want to go in there and do like bench press and work on my shoulders and blah, blah, blah. So that is not good. Don't do that. Make sure that you're splitting up the days of your training the right way. And yeah, consistency is everything. In about 2 months, I was able to start seeing changes in my body. But you have to be consistent about it. If you're going to the gym once every 2 weeks or whatever, you're not going to really see gains. Like, you need to make sure that you're showing up every day, at least 3 times a week, and just sticking to it for months and months on end. And that's when you'll really see the transformations you want to see, and your body will start changing the way you want it to change. So yeah, track your progress. That's another thing that you should do. Taking progress photos as well as tracking your weight, that will give you the motivation, because sometimes it can feel kind of invisible, especially in the beginning, because you can't really see too much muscle. Yeah, guys, that's the blueprint. Eat big, lift heavy, recover well, and be consistent. If you can do those things, you will see the gains and the changes that you want to see in your body. So get after it. You can do it. Get up off your ass and make it happen. All right. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.